Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Carmine from New York, photo class number 239. I'm a photographer here in Manhattan for the last 50 years. I primarily do photojournalist work for newspapers and magazines. Why do I have this channel? To give back to the photography community, to give back, to teach others what I have learned over the last 50 years in the photography business. All right. Hello, everyone. I just want to tell you, please subscribe, comment below, give me a thumbs up if you would, and also email me any photography question, blackandwhitephoto@aol.com. And I promise I will answer your questions within one day. All right, let's get into it. Why am I holding two Fujifilm cameras? Well, just to show that back in the day, Fujifilm made these gorgeous professional film cameras. This one happens to be the Fujica GW690. It uses film. It takes a massive 6x9 centimeter negative, and this was for professionals in the tourist trade. They would take this camera and take tour group shots and have them printed when the tour group came back. Gorgeous professional cameras from Fujifilm. What is this little guy? This is the Fujifilm FinePix S3000. This is a 3.2, 3.2 megapixel digital camera that came out in October of 2003, 20 years ago. Now hold on. First, let me just say dpreview.com has an excellent multi-page review on this camera when it came out. I encourage you to read it. I want to show you the specs. Instead of reading specs, I will show you the photographs that I took just last night at sunset. With this camera, and it's incredible. But I know my audience, and they want to know the important things first. How much? How much for the Fujifilm S3000 with the built-in electronic viewfinder and the live view screen? Let's turn it on. Let's get this bad boy going. All right, so on the back, it has a screen for live view. You press a button and it switches to the electronic viewfinder. Guys, electronic viewfinders are the absolute best. When you want to take a photograph close to your eye, it gives you a better feel for it. But if you switch to the live view, you can take photographs just like your cell phone, like this. You look at the screen, you can look this way, you can look this way. It's wonderful. Okay, let me shut it down. Okay, now, so let's get back to the sensor. It's 3.2, not 32, it's 3.2 megapixels. But hold on, it's a CCD Kodachrome-like film sensor. Let me just say that again. I told you guys in my multi-videos, I have declared 2023 as the film-like sensor year, CCD. Most, 99% of cameras today have a CMOS sensor. However, CCD sensors, while being very expensive to make, they stopped making them to go with CMOS. I have a slide on this. The CCD sensors were developed in conjunction with the engineers who engineered color film. They wanted to know from those engineers what's the RGB, the red, green, blue numbers that they should put in the software when they made the CCD sensors. They really put their heads together and came up with these beautiful CCD sensors. That's what I'm talking about. It looks like Kodachrome. If you guys don't know what Kodachrome is, it was the world's best color film. All right? And grain, you're worried about grain or noise? Guys, film is made from tiny pieces of silver, literally tiny pieces of silver called silver halide crystals. No matter what you do, you're going to get that gorgeous, in my opinion, gorgeous noise, but I don't like that word. I like to call it film grain. All right, I have so much to tell you about this camera. And like I said, I know my audience and they want to know prices. You can have these cameras, this Fujifilm FinePix S3000. Guys, they go for between $10 and $20 on eBay, okay? Listen, I'm not kidding. I paid 16 bucks for this camera and it came with the memory card. That's a whole important issue, okay? Has it one XD card slot. That's what an XD card looks like. Okay. Now, how much is this one in memory size? 128 megabytes. All right, 128 megabytes. But remember, it's a 3 megapixel camera, so you'll get plenty of photographs on that card. Now, that's a thing that you need to know about before you press buy it now and buy this camera. I have to tell you a few things. Okay, the camera will hold and work with an XD card from 16 megabyte up to a 512 megabyte XD card. All right, now if you buy this camera, do yourself a favor, make sure that it comes with a card, because the cards have not been in production. The XD memory cards have not been in production for a long time. So I just saw one now, an XD card priced 20 bucks for a used one. More money than the camera. Now, I want to show you, because a lot of you are not really familiar with XD cards. I certainly wasn't. All right, here's a size comparison chart. If you buy the camera and now you have your card and you're out shooting, you also have to know, what about the battery? Okay, it takes 4 AA, that's AA, alkaline batteries. And with those batteries, you should get easily 350 photographs with one set of batteries. A little less if you use the flash, right? It has a pop-up built-in flash, okay? Now, back to the XD card. Okay, so let's say you have the camera, you have a card, okay? Now, how are you going to read that card in your computer, okay? You're going to need an XD card reader. Still, we're talking about a camera. Let's say you buy it for 20. An XD card, you're going to need that. That's 20. Now you're up to $40, but it's still a CCD film-like sensor. And then you're going to need the reader, right? That's 11. So 20 for the camera, 20 for the card, that's 40. The reader is about 11, right? So you're about at $51. But look at the photographs it takes. Okay, so who's this camera for? This camera's for anybody that wants to, A, learn photography, right? As far as how to compose their photographs, right? Including everything from leading lines and the rule of thirds, okay? This is perfect. This is perfect if you're going on a photography trip that might be a little sketchy. Listen, I'm from Manhattan, right? If I was going to be out taking photographs, for example, underground in the subway system, I might take a $20 camera in case some crime happens to me. I would not cry if this was stolen from me as opposed to this nearly $1,000 Fujifilm GW690, okay? Keep a lot of things in mind when you're picking out a camera to take with you to take photographs in certain places. All right, back to the camera. 6x optical zoom. Optical. That means that when you press the zoom buttons on the back, okay, it zooms from, this is equivalent to a 35 millimeter, from 38 millimeters, right? That's a nice street photography size, 38 millimeters, to 228. Now we all know that 135 millimeters is the perfect portrait millimeter focal length lens. And this goes beyond that, 38 millimeters to 228. We're not talking about digital zoom, we're talking about optical zoom. Okay, it's an f2.8 lens, non-interchangeable. However, you see this ring, this lens shade? This was an option. It's called the Fine Pix adapter ring. You can use this ring with 58 millimeter filters, okay? You can use it with other adapters that they have. You can screw on a telephoto, you can screw on a wide angle, okay? Let's keep going. The ISO is not much to choose from. When you're taking photographs without the flash, it's always ISO 100. Not a range. It doesn't go from 100 to 1600 ISO. One ISO, ISO 100. Now think about it. When you want to take the nicest, creamiest photographs, you pick something low like 100. But if you use the flash, then you get, the camera will decide from 100 ISO to 200 ISO. It'll determine how dark the photograph scene is, and it'll adjust it between 100 and 200. Okay. Now, the fastest shutter speed is not bad. It's decent. It's 1/1500th of a second. Okay. I told you. JPEG only. No RAW. Autofocus, of course, I told you. How about this? It has a macro button. Check out this picture. The macro shot you can get within 4 inches of your subject. Now I'll show you the picture again. Now, that picture was taken with this camera, duh, and I was on macro setting and handheld, not tripod, and this was the light source. Simple little light source. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been photo class number 239. Carmine from New York, giving you my 50 years experience as a photojournalist. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, comment below, and email me any question you have at blackandwhitephoto@aol.com. It's a free service that I provide that I don't know any other photo channel on YouTube that does this. I do, because I have 50 years experience that I want to give back to the community, okay, for free. Also, I don't mention this often. I have a website that you can't buy anything. It's just information. Now listen to me. Go to CarmineTaverna.com. I'll put website link in the description below. Here's what my website is. It has over 5,000 photographs, and it has a description of each photograph, where it was taken, what camera. What is that? What is my website for? It's to break you out of the equivalent of writer's block, to break you out of photo block when you just don't know what to photograph. Okay? This will give you ideas on what to photograph, how to photograph it. And on my website, there's a search box. You could put in the word landscape if you want to know how to take landscape, macro, and all my macro pictures. If you put in black and white, all my black and white photos will come up. You can't buy anything. This channel is not about buying stuff. It's not about buying mugs, hats, t-shirts, nothing. My channel and my website are free. Put your credit card away. There's no way to buy anything. I'm giving back to the community because it's the right thing to do. Anybody in any job that you've been doing for 50 years, auto mechanic, steam fitter, carpenter. All right, guys, said enough. Carmine from New York saying goodbye.